Hello everyone, welcome to another beautiful time on The Angles where hot topics are being discussed. And my name is Mary Ibeji.
Africa has been known to produce years and millions of degree holders, from the colleges, post graduate programs, across. And it's now like a frenzy. Everybody wants to get a degree and then get another degree and get another degree. And then you compare the level, the number of people who are schooled with all kinds of degrees with the level of development that we welcome in Africa, that we experience in Africa. And you can only say that Africa is like a training ground. Africa invests all its resources, to train people. But Africa barely profits from the training that it gives, its citizens.
Wow.
Because before you open your eyes, they're either out there, in developed worlds, where the value, for education and, those knowledge they acquire is being paid for, is being properly appreciated. Here in Africa, we just rather gather certificates, and then we reward people for that certificate instead of what is here, what is in their brains, what they are able to produce with the certificates that they have earned.
These certificates you've acquired, what do you do? Are you going to sit down and just watch the unfortunate scenarios play out? If you are using those certificates to make the country better, to make Africa better, then there's a plus. Because if we are going to talk about whether it's gain or drain, that is where we should start from.
Okay.
I would say that one who has gone through a bachelor's level, a master's, and a PhD, one way or the other would have contributed something to the economy.
No.
I disagree.
We'll have one way or the other. I mean, they will be working. They will be working, they will be paying their taxes.
A lot of times they travel abroad for this study.
But even when they travel abroad, let's look at it this way. They don't just abandon their home country. Some of them still send money to their family. Some of them still send money to, they're building NGOs, they're building houses. They're actually one way or the other still strengthening the economy. So either ways, and that's because of they did not just, unlike someone who would not have that kind of mindset, one who is not exposed to school that way would not have such mindset on actually building their economy.
But spending 5 to 10 years going to school, is that really contributing?
I feel like education is really not the problem here.
Okay.
The problem is that these African countries don't have the structure to support the talents that are being produced. So because the system is collapsed, the policies, the governance, everything, then there is no opportunity for the graduates or the people who have come to, this level, the masters, and there's no opportunity for them to use whatever it is that they've gained in school to actually build the economy because it's collapsed.
So that is what this person is trying to say. Since there's no opportunity, then why are Africans going ahead to study more? Why can't they all come together? I think that's the other side of the conversation.
And I think I want to speak to that.
Yeah.
The fact that they keep going to school, for me, is like an escape mentality, all right? Because the essence of schooling, should be that you are gaining skills, that are convertible. I mean, you are gaining knowledge that are convertible to skills.
And that is what they are doing.
To now,
and that's why you see people who start their own business. They are building their business. That is a contribution to the economy.
When you want to say that, you have to put it on a scale and measure. If you have 10 people who've been through school, and how many of them come out to start businesses? How many of them
aside from
come out
even
to start?
business, some of them still also go into the political aspect of the country, the economical aspect of the country, and they are making waves in the country. We have Dr. Obi Ezekwesili. We have our former Vice President, Professor Osibanjo. We have several of them in Nigeria and also in Africa, in Kenya, Rwanda, that actually, were master's holders, were PhD holders, went into the political or economic aspect of their countries, and they made a way. Home and abroad.
But there are so few.
That's
but we still have the people because there's not enough facilities to support these talents. But there's still some people who still
they
go
are the
into...
ones to build this talent with the brains.
That's what I was saying.
We shouldn't downplay the power of education.
That's exactly where I'm going. What is the education that we acquire?
We are not to blame the individuals. Blame the governors. Blame the government, rather. Blame the leadership.
Let me tell you,
not the individuals.
There's something you're skipping before the government and all that. We have opportunities to start businesses in Nigeria. Nigeria is like a virgin land. You can do as much as you can here in Nigeria.
I'm here. So it tells me, in the first place, that the education that we have gone to school to study has no commercial value. And it ought not to be so, and that's my point.
No commercial value in your country, I
would
say. It might just be...
Someone who has an MBA in business management and goes ahead to start their businesses, how is that not an addition to that?
That's a plus. But do we have that much in Nigeria or in Africa?
Well, we have medical doctors who actually go to do their masters in public health. That's also important because they are building their knowledge in the health sector to still do more, provide more good health services for the people.
If we go into the research of the...
That's building the health sector of the country.
These well-read people leaving Nigeria, leaving the world, leaving Africa.
Brain drain.
It's draining.
Every medical
personnel. If it's draining,
do you think that we celebrate people with titles more than, operators, builders, people who are really, zoning in on doing the work to create maybe an empire for themselves, put their continent on the map of the world and all of that? I want you to...
I feel like we celebrate both. Okay. Because and like I said earlier, it's just the truth, because there's no way you would have someone who is a master's degree holder or a PhD or both that would not be resilient, that would not be, what's the word? Will not push so hard to want to make an impact in their economy or in their society. It's very rare that you see someone who is of that caliber just act like be by the side of what. No, for real, yeah. And if you will have they're very little.
You're not celebrating
and I feel
them.
Like we celebrate both.
Which weighs more? And I don't know, but the body language sometimes we get is, for example, two people walk for an interview. Of course, people will say, who else would you pick? I mean, you pick the person with the best degrees and all that. But at the end of the day, there are people that are way more skillful than that. They didn't entirely go to school to, Ghana Masters or PhD, but then they are relegated because to an extent, title plays a role.
That's not title, that's someone's hard work.
Yeah.
They went through school, put in their hard work, sleepless nights of studying, they graduated. That's more exposure.
How about the person who also put in hard work to have been able to get through that interview phase?
In life, there are hierarchies. There are hierarchies and there are exposure. So the one who has the higher advantage is the one who has the better opportunity of getting the job. So
because they have a certification to prove for it.
Yeah.
Wow. So it then means that it's glamorized.
You cannot have you cannot just have a certificate just like that without working hard for it.
Okay.
For you to have a master's in a PhD in a particular course, you have actually worked for it. So you're way ahead and better than someone who has just been doing the labor.
So what you're saying
that
one of the ways to know a hard worker is someone who has a master's.
Not just a hard worker, they are smart too. No, people who are smart upstairs will excellently.
Isn't that actually unfair to think that the best way to show that?
I didn't say.
No, based on your response. Okay, let me get from you.
It's interesting, what gift is. So let me say what I wanted to say.
Okay.
First of all, we have to understand the education, the so-called education, the certifications that we are getting. Why was it framed? What is the source? What is the beginning, right? That's how we look at it, first of all. What is the idea of education when it was introduced to us? I said it the last time, that it's still part of the colonization process of Africa. Yes, it was to colonize us. They told us the things, our science was bad, our economy was bad, everything we were doing was bad. So they introduced the job mentality to us. What is the benefit for somebody how can you live all your life because you want a job? Everybody that lives for a job certainly isn't thinking about society.
At all.
Because if you are thinking about society, you are thinking beyond the job you are doing. So and you will not do everything, you will not do anything just so that you will get the next certificate, so that you can get the next employment and the next promotion, and you live life and go around in circles like that. And that's what we have. And that is why the economy is not not
those
productive.
people are paying taxes, and their taxes.
Let's be fair. Let me hear from Lillian.
Wait, let me explain.
It is their tax.
You
They
said
are paying
something like they are
taxes.
paying tax. Let me explain something. There's this idea of tax is good. I know we talked about it not recently.
Prior to now,
it's a good
there are people that have been
they are
paying tax.
Yes.
Yeah.
But please take note that that is not where we are coming from.
I'm just saying that
Africa,
their taxes is
Gifty,
also a contribution.
please hold on.
It's
to
a
the
contribution.
African
God, please,
economy.
Gifty, please hold on. You will get to talk again. Let me hear from Lillian. Thank you.
See, I love education.
So much.
Just educate yourself to the extent where you are to contribute to the growth of the nation, of the country you're in. Not because you are now a PhD holder and they tell you, so country is looking for PhD holder and you leave. You have not done well. If you are going to the school to get that certificate, if you are not impacting your immediate environment, immediate country or continent, you're not doing the right thing. That is my own idea. Because if you're going to tell me now that calling those few names, it's not helping us. We need more. We need that's what we are saying. What we are saying now, if that is what a PhD and masters is doing to us,
Sorry, how
I
many?
think we should put it
how many
aside.
people
And
Okay, so how
we churn out
does
from
that
Africa every
help
year?
build the African economy?
Please hold on. All three
It's
people
not-
can't talk at the same time,
at the same
please.
time.
Yes.
If all what PhD and masters do is to take people from Africa, out of Africa, then they will bring chin-chin. Then they will come and give it to the family and build one house for me. And they will now come and complain that they did not build the house well afterwards. These are what this PhD and masters abroad, then they leave what is happening at home. If you're going to the school abroad, or even if you're doing it in Nigeria, I have some professional students that I know. They've been inside school. they finished BLC. Okay, we thought, okay, now he's going to do one very amazing thing. They say, no, I want to do masters. Okay. Inside the master, he's doing small. Then he said, no, now he's PhD. After PhD, he's already old and rickety. And what have you done for the economy? Nothing. You have just used the money that you make, little money you made for yourself, whether you trade or whatever, use it to go back to school, and now you're done with school, and now you're old, and you are not giving us anything. So talking about school, certification and all that is a good thing. But if you're not producing with it, you are disturbing us.
Wow. Okay.
And my final conclusion is that Africa doesn't need less education. What we need in Africa is a better leadership, stronger institutions, and of course, economies that reward excellence. That's what we need.
All right. Amazing. Olugbenga.
My response, to that is first of all is that they have all said the right thing. I mean, most of the people that are speaking there are Africans. Probably some of them have PhDs, some of them are even professors, if you listen very well to some of the things they said. And what I now will say in conclusion is that we need to redefine what education means in Africa. Look for an education that works for us. Let's forget this certification. I'm not saying certificate is not good, but it is a Western thing. We need to come back home and define what education means for us and now use it to implement our development.
All right. Thank you so much, Lillian.
Beautiful. You see, we've learned a lot today, but what we should take home is while you are holding on to your certificate, you must know that we need to see the output. That's it. There has to be something you need to add to the development of your country and help build the economy of the country.
Amazing. It's been a great time with you all. I mean, I think one line I'll take from everything you said, Gift, Olugbenga and Lillian, is the fact that, education is not the enemy of development. Misalignment is.